Into the unknown, beyond the horizon. This is where we will journey today. So often, I talk about the unknown as something to lean into, to surrender into, where you can really dance with the divine and trust and certainty as everything is orchestrated around you. But today, I want to talk about a different way of meeting the unknown, and that is stabilizing it. Stabilizing the unknown and making it known. Welcome to this episode of Beyond the Horizon. I am your host, Tabea Zoe. I am the founder of the Creative Waters, and I am a mystical philosopher and a mentor, and I love to articulate the energetic architecture of reality, of life. And right now I am moving through a massive shift. I had a manifestation come through on 8/8, the 8th of August, and I feel myself in this phase of the unknown in a very different way than before it happened. And as I was moving through it, I went through the course of the Creative Waters way that is called Flask of Fluidity, that I developed myself, but still I use it myself because this process is really brilliant, especially in this phase of shifting into something else. And I thought that this is something that I haven't really talked about that much on here yet. So I want to take you into that moment after something huge has happened. And I love a good portal moment. I love a moment in time where you decide to make it a moment, a portal where everything shifts. There is so much power in the conscious choice of opening up a moment to the realm of potential. And there are these moments collectively that you can lean into. The new year, even the start of a new school year, for some, September holds a lot of that energy. I sometimes used 8/8, like the 8th of August, Lionsgate, as such a moment. And I also love the 11th of November, 11/11, to also tap into this potential. This time I didn't consciously decide to make 8/8 a portal moment, but it happened to be one. And I love to know that I can lean into the realm of potential in any moment. Any moment is a doorway to the realm of potential if you allow time to open up that moment by being incredibly present. So, something came through, and these past few days I found myself really thinking about, okay, who am I now? Who am I now that it happened? Who am I now that something is shifting? Who am I now with this manifestation? And there sometimes is this narrative that you need to become the version of self who already has what you desire in order to manifest it. And there is some truth to that, because as you create something, as you move through the creative process, you also go through this internal process of becoming the one that is able to have created it, the one that has already released it. But right after the moment of creation, the moment when you have made something tangible, when you have bridged the realms of the energetic and physical reality and something has landed, when you have desired something for so long and now it has come into your life, there is this moment where you are also in the unknown on a very different level, where you need to become that version of self that has the manifestation, that has created and brought that idea into tangible form, that has what you previously desired on a completely different level. And I want to suggest that the moment that you step into that new identity after you have created something is a moment where even more is possible, where you dance with the universe and the divine on a different level, where you are in the unknown on a completely different level than you were in that uncertainty before something has come in. So let me take you a little bit into the process of expansion. And if you are in the creative waters way, you know the dance between feminine and masculine polarity within the creative process in the journey of ocean's emergence. And there I also discuss the internal process that you move through. And there is this moment after you have released something where you need to step up even more into that version of self. And that is a moment that we can expand even more. That is a moment, a really beautiful moment to dance even more with the potential and to pull even more in. So, when you have your reality is a construct, your identity is a construct, it is something that you have created. And if you haven't created the identity and the reality that you find yourself within right now, most likely it is constructed by societal narratives and norms and expectations and whatever you have been programmed to be in your childhood. If you are here, I imagine that you have created your reality to some degree, even if some old things show up. And even if you have created the reality that you find yourself with, and even if you have manifested all the dreams that you ever dreamt, there is still more. And still, what previously felt like freedom at some point will feel like a limitation. We are on a path of constant growth and evolution. We are constantly expanding. So at some point in our expansion, this is the feminine movement of outward diversion of energy, expanding in all directions. The containment, the structure, the construct, the reality that you've previously maybe felt like this is the ultimate freedom, this is the ultimate dream, as you expand will feel like a limitation. The edges, the closer you come to your edges, the more tangible they will become, and the more you will feel the tension of the movement pressing beyond. The movement, the expansion of energy in the feminine polarity, wanting to move beyond the edges. Recreate the edges so that there is something to press up against, something to overcome, to then create new edges. This is how we constantly expand while holding ourselves. So when you feel the edges becoming more tangible, when you feel the limitation, when you feel like your reality doesn't match who you want to become, when the identity that you are currently in feels outdated, when there is a new desire coming up, you will feel the edges and you need something else to move beyond. The feminine movement is the expansion and the edges are the masculine form of containment. And to leap beyond these edges, you need the masculine movement of focusing all your energy onto one specific point. One aim, one goal, one desire, one creation. And this focus of energy, this direction will pull you out of your previous comfort zone, reality, perception, identity construct, and into the unknown, into this vast, spacious openness of feminine form, the nothingness, and the realm of potential of anything, into that realm, onto that specific point. And this is why just right before you have manifested something, right before something is coming in, right before you are finishing your creation, you feel like you have done everything and you are in the unknown. You feel that deep tension of that directive force of your energy onto that thing. You feel it. You feel the tension between the energetic realm where you know it is certain and it is happening, and the physical reality where it hasn't manifested yet, where it isn't tangible yet. You feel that gap as a tension. It is all pronounced. It is all a matter of time that things come in. And here you feel the unknown as something that you need to surrender into. in this moment of the creative process, when you have done the work, when you have done your part in co-creation, when you have leaped beyond, you need to step out of the masculine and into the feminine to lean back into that vastness, to let life orchestrate everything around you, to let time play its part in this co-creative dance. For it to land in you, you need to be in the feminine in order to receive. And then it has come in. The unimaginable, the impossible, the thing so far beyond what you previously felt was normal in your reality has come in. You've manifested it. You've created it. You've made it tangible, physical. You've bridged realms, and now it is here. And in that moment, the interesting thing that happens energetically is because you have focused all of your energy onto that one specific point. After that directive force onto one point, the energy needs to come into a different movement. It will go out into expansion again, but now it feels like, okay, your part is not to lean back and surrender and be in your feminine. Your part is to create a new containment. You need to shift into a different mode of the masculine, one that creates containment, structures, constructs again. This is a different version of creation. It is not the straightforward directiveness of bridging realms and creating something and making it tangible. This is shifting your whole reality around it, shifting your whole identity around it. And while up to that point, maybe it was a play of who will I be once I have it, once you have it, you need to step into that identity even further. And often this is where we wobble a little bit of, who am I now? And this is a dangerous point, because if we do not finish that process of really stepping into a new identity consciously, we will unconsciously take on all of the narratives that society holds, that our programming holds around what it means to have that thing. While before the manifestation came in, it was easy to slip back into that old comfort zone, that old construct, because you didn't have any evidence yet. You could say, oh, never mind, I don't really trust, I'm not really certain in this unknown. Let me quickly get back to what I felt was possible before. This is what so many people do. And then they said, yeah, I tried, but it didn't happen, so I got back to what I did before. It's impossible. This is how we reinforce limitation. But once you have that evidence, there's no going back. Now you are really in that new reality, but you haven't defined the new reality yet. What does it even mean to be here? What does it even mean to have manifested the one thing that you always dreamt about? What does it mean to have your desires met? And this is where we can get really wobbly in our self-trust and our inner stability. It can feel like, am I even allowed? I want to return this desire. Please take it back. Divine, I don't really want it because now I'm really in the unknown. Now I really need to face the fact that I am shaping reality. This is where we can get caught up in, I need more evidence. I need to, okay, this was one time, this was luck. A lucky accident that I could manifest what I wanted, so now I need to do it again and again and again to feel really certain in it. I don't have enough evidence that it works to lean back into it. Let me get a lot of validation for what I have so that what I've made tangible is really, really, really tangible. But really, this is a moment. This is a moment where even more is possible. Where if you lean into that moment, you can call in even more. Not by making even more tangible, not by bridging that gap even more, but by expanding the gap that you have just opened. By expanding the portal that you have opened as you have bridged the energetic and the physical reality and brought something in. You've made something tangible, so you could pull in even more of potential in who you are and what is possible in your reality. Who am I now that I have manifested that thing? So easily we slip into roles that we have seen. And I remember that one time I felt like I was successful in a way where I felt afterwards, oh, now I need to be a whole different person to hold that success. And that wasn't true. I didn't need to become a whole different version, but this was the programming. Okay, someone who's successful looks like this, moves like this. So I really got lost on my way trying to be something that I'm not, instead of seeing that manifestation as proof that who I am is enough. And I don't need to change my ways because my ways worked. Instead of seeing it as a moment of, okay, what do I truly want to create from this point on? If I lean into evolution, expansion, growth, what more is possible now? So I don't get hooked in that anymore. This is a moment that I choose to embrace. And that is why I'm taking myself through my own process of flask of fluidity to really anchor in that moment of, I am creating my identity now. I am creating a new construct for me to be held within. So I don't want to subconsciously slip into a role, slip into an image of what I have seen, what it means to be who I am right now. No, instead I am creating even more. Manifesting, creating, making something tangible, easy. Now, an even greater act of creation is happening. One where you are in the realm of potential, and instead of surrendering, leaning back into the potential, floating in anything is possible, saying anything is possible and I decide how much is possible for me right now. Now I'm not in my feminine, enjoying the flow. Now I'm meeting the realm of potential in my masculine and telling it how much of it I want to allow into my perception of reality. Where do I draw the new limits? Where do I draw my new edges? It doesn't need to be right here. And so often we only include the new manifestation, but we don't allow ourselves to stretch even further. This is my invitation to stretch even further. So what happens now is that you create a new construct of self, who you are. And beyond the roles, beyond the expectations, beyond the narratives, this is not about creating stability through external validation or stability even in knowing your identity. This is creating an even deeper sense of stability in knowing that you are nothing. You are nothing and you are everything. You are the realm of potential. You are the unknown, so you can make it known. You are the divine experiencing itself through just one single expression. So what should that individual singular expression be for you for the time being? When you come to that deep understanding that you are nothing and anything and everything, you are the divine. You truly unlock your creative power to decide who you want to be. You are fluid, and your identity is just a flask for your fluidity. So what is that flask? How broad can it be? How much can it hold? What are the narratives that you take with you And what do you want to break up with? Who will you become? Before the manifestation came through, when you played with, okay, I'm becoming the version of self who naturally has that manifestation, it is all still just a mind game. Now it is reality, so now it really influences your reality on a different level. Before that, you were working through your limitations, but you were still in the limitation. Now that you have leaped beyond, looking back, your limitation will become very obvious. Your old reality, your old construct of reality won't make as much sense. But if you don't stay conscious in this moment, you will nevertheless slip back into it. And then you will get to the new point of, I have the thing, I still feel this different way. Why? Why is there still a mismatch in my reality? Because first you draw in the energetic into the physical, tangible, and now that it becomes physical, tangible, the energetic needs to come with again. It is a back and forth. So how much of the energetic do you take with you? How much do you change the energetic after it has become physical? Reality. Now looking back, you see all the limitations that you haven't truly broken out of, but that you are still quietly, secretly taking into your new reality with you. Or some new limitations that only make sense now that you have manifested the thing that you wanted. Nothing makes sense. You make sense. You create the meaning. So what do you give meaning to? What meaning do you give to the things in your life, your experience? How much do you allow yourself to expand in that moment? And this is the true portal moment. We can open up the realm of potential, call something in, be in that state of opening up the moment. But the true portal moment happens afterwards. We are opening the door, something is coming through, and the door is still open. The portal is still open. Now you know for certain, because something has become tangible, that the portal is still open. You are still in the unknown. So when do you close that door? Or do you allow more in through that door? When you truly come into a deep peace with your fluidity, you no longer seek stability through anything external, but truly you create the stability by knowing that you are the unknown. This is how you stabilize it in the moment, by giving it definition. And because you are anything and everything, the definition could be really broad. But still, the definition, the new containment for you, needs to feel like something you are able to hold. Something that doesn't collapse. Something that you can anchor into. And I always love to lean into the edges even before they have become limitation, and make the edges not around what is comfortable, not around what is possible, but around what is almost impossible. If you want to dive deeper into this work, you can find it within the Creative Waters Way. The Creative Waters Way is an evolving space. So I am going through the journey of Flask of Fluidity right now. And as I'm doing the work for myself, I am refining it, and I will add to it. The Flask of Fluidity and Ocean's Emergence are the two journeys that I would really suggest if this is where you find yourself at in your journey right now, on your own way. And in the Creative Waters Way, you find 9 of these journeys taking you through processes of understanding the energetic principles, the energetic architecture of reality and life. And then it takes you through reflections and journal prompts and meditations, energetic activations, exercises, so many things. So you don't just know this as a concept, like I talk about it right now, but that you can take it into practice in your daily life. And the amazing thing is, as you move through your life, different things come up and different journeys make sense. So, for example, flask of fluidity is not something that you do once, but it is something that you can do anytime that you feel like you are shifting into a new version of self, or anytime you want to shift into a new version of self. And for me, actually, that's like all the time. So I highly recommend joining. You can join right now and you can decide what type of subscription model you want to use. You can subscribe monthly or quarterly and just go through all of it at your own pace. Until then, my love, until next time, leave a comment, a review, a like wherever you listen to it. Share this episode with a friend if you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon again. Until then, bye.